What is going on, everybody? It is your boy Josh3Arch. We are back with another video. Finally, I have not made a video in about 2 weeks, but now we are finally back talking about the Ben Simmons for James Harden trade. And in this video specifically, I'm talking about which team won this trade. I really think there's a clear-cut winner of this entire trade. Both teams did get a good return, but I think one team ultimately got the best return, and ultimately it's gonna definitely help their team out more, and they're probably gonna have a better record this season. Now, there's also a lot of other stuff I will be talking about, like Stephen A. Smith, some reason just switching up on Ben Simmons and saying that he's like a Giannis type player that is just gonna be a superstar for the Nets. Doesn't really make sense to me. But first, let's really start out what happened with this trade. I think it was about a week ago, if I'm not mistaken. There was a report by Sham saying that James Harden may end up on the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, when that report came out, I did not believe it. Like, it didn't make any sense. Like, how does that trade just come out of nowhere? Kevin Durant was out and the Nets were losing games, but at the end of the day, I didn't really expect James Harden to request another trade or whatever. So that report came out, and then a few days later, we didn't really hear anything about it. But then we heard that Brian Windhorst, I don't know if I'm saying his name correctly, but he came out and said that this trade is really close to being complete. And when he said that, I'm not gonna lie, I did not believe him, because Woj actually said that that report is probably not even true, and he said that this is not even close to be getting done. And then the day after that, in the morning, literally in the morning, I woke up, got a notification from my phone, and Woj was saying that James Harden actually wants to be on the Philadelphia 76ers. He just hasn't made a formal request. And right after that, the trade got complete, and it got confirmed that James Harden is heading to the Philadelphia 76ers for Seth Curry, Andre Drummond, Ben Simmons, of course, and 2 first-round picks. Now, what do I really feel about this trade right here? Now, you know, you look at who the Nets got. They got a player like Seth Curry, which I do think is one of the best shooters in the entire league. So that's a really good pickup. Andre Drummond, who in my opinion could have won 6th Man of the Year for the Philadelphia 76ers. Ben Simmons, who hasn't played the entire year for the Philadelphia 76ers, but he has good potential. Ben Simmons, honestly, he used to be one of my favorite players in the Philadelphia 76ers. Ultimately, that whole thing had to happen in the Atlanta Hawks series. But I think Ben Simmons has the potential to be a really, really good player. So those 3 players, really good, solid picks. And they got 2 first-round picks, which they could have done something with in the trade deadline, but they decided not to, right? So, and let's see who, you know, the 76ers got. They got James Harden and Paul Millsap, and that's about it, right? Comparing these 2 sides, the Brooklyn Nets, like I said, they're on, what, a 10-game losing streak. They have Kevin Durant out with the injury. They have Kyrie Irving, who's a part-time player, but I think I expect him to ultimately play full-time. But on the other side, James Harden is heading to the Philadelphia 76ers to play with Joel Embiid, who's been playing at MVP level, right? He's been playing extremely good. No one's been playing better than Joel Embiid. And Paul Millsap, which is just like, I don't even know. I haven't seen Paul Millsap play, so I'm not gonna comment on that. But ultimately, we have seen the reports, like, before the trade actually happened, say that for this deal to go down, Matisse Thybulle or Tyrese Maxey had to be involved in the trade. That didn't happen. Ultimately, that didn't happen. The 76ers didn't give up their younger players for James Harden. There's been some concern for some people that saying James Harden is washed. He's 33 years old, so that'd be bad giving up the young players. Well, they didn't do it, right? They didn't do it at all. They ended up getting James Harden for just Seth Curry, Andre Drummond, basically, because they basically, I just want to say, they gave up Seth Curry and Andre Drummond for James Harden. They didn't give up Ben Simmons because Ben Simmons was not playing for the Philadelphia 76ers, and the Sixers had a really good record so far. They've been doing extremely good without Ben Simmons, right? So if you look at who got who, the Philadelphia 76ers won, and I'm trying to be unbiased as possible. There is some people out here saying that the Philadelphia 76ers got older and the Nets got younger, but that doesn't really make any sense. I understand we're talking about like the draft picks and everything. I feel like the 76ers don't need draft picks. They have Tyrese Maxey, they have Matisse Thybulle, they even got players like Isaiah Joe, Furkan Korkmaz, Jaden Springer, Paul Reed. List can go on, even Shake Milton. So I feel like they don't need that. They also do have Joel Embiid, who isn't that old. Like, Joel Embiid isn't just some washed center that plays in the NBA, and he's in an MVP season right now. So the best thing to do would go for a championship run, right? So they won. Nets definitely lost. Like, they gave up James Harden for Ben Simmons, who hasn't played. Now, I will say I do think that this is gonna make the Brooklyn Nets a better team, but just not better than the Philadelphia 76ers. Both sides got kind of better. There's reports coming out now that's saying, you know, maybe Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving didn't really like James Harden. So they definitely got better with this trade, getting Seth Curry, Andre Drummond, and Ben Simmons. But at the end of the day, who the 76ers have compared to who the Nets have, and their fits and everything, it's just better for the Philadelphia 76ers to pick up James Harden. Now we're really gonna talk about the other thing I want to talk about, right? I was scrolling through Twitter, right, and all of a sudden they're getting reports out, well, not reports, videos out there by, you know, Stephen A. Smith tweeting stuff that's saying that even by the entire ESPN except Kendrick Perkins, they're saying that the Nets got better. Ben Simmons is going to be a generational talent. They can use him like Giannis and stuff. And I'm not gonna lie, they did not say anything about this before Ben Simmons was traded. Very, very weird by the media. Like I do not get that. And really, like, talking about that, Ben Simmons is not Giannis at all. I think Ben Simmons is a really good player, but he's not at Giannis's level. Someone I would compare Ben Simmons to is like Draymond Green. And the media, bro, I don't even know what they're talking about at this point. They're definitely just leaning towards the Brooklyn Nets because of who they have, Kevin Durant and everything, blah blah blah, right? At the end of the day, you know, the 76ers got better, right? So another thing I will say is that the 76ers, they should get a backup center and point guard right now. They missed out on, they don't have Drummond right now, and they don't have Seth Curry. They should get someone like Dennis Schroeder. DeAndre Bembry cleared waivers yesterday, so I think they should get someone like that. Do not get Enes Kanter though, bro. Do not get him, bro. Like, I don't care about your Enes Freedom looking stuff. Like, I really don't care. Do not get him. They can even get like someone like JJ Redick, who could potentially come out of retirement, right? That would actually be really cool to see. That's where I stand on this entire trade right here. I wanted to give some extra reports out here. Ben Simmons was reportedly emotional on the phone with Kevin Durant and the Nets after the trade went down. I think that's really something that is, you know, like, I feel like for Ben Simmons, he just needed to be out of Philadelphia 76ers. Like, I really wish the best for him. Like, that's something to see, that just, like, he's happy that he's leaving the Philadelphia 76ers. I don't feel like 76ers should be mad about that, whatever. That's pretty much the reports, all the reports that happened. The trade deadline recap is Harden to the Sixers, Simmons to the Nets, Seth Curry to the Nets, Porzingis to the Wizards, Dinwiddie to the Mavericks, Ibaka to the Bucks, and Scores to the Rockets. All those trades are pretty good. There were some questionable ones before the trade deadline that I won't really talk about much. But like I said, both teams got pretty good. The clear, solid winner in this is the Philadelphia 76ers, pairing James Harden with Joel Embiid. Now you got Tyrese Maxey, you got Matisse Thybulle. They need to work on their depth, but they still have a better starting five, in my opinion, than the Brooklyn Nets. But like I said, the Brooklyn Nets are still really, really good. So they might even beat the 76ers in the playoffs. 76ers might beat the Brooklyn Nets. I don't know, but right now in the regular season, I have the Philadelphia 76ers with the better record than the Brooklyn Nets. And I think that's something obvious because Kyrie Irving is not really going to be playing that much. With that being said, though, that's going to wrap up things for this video. Do not forget to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, comment down below what you think about this James Harden for Ben Simmons trade. Just the Arch, and I'm freaking out.